saying that I made up whenever I first got my brace. I turned around to my mom and I said, "Mom, I'm not broken. I'm just perfectly imperfect." So I just remember that.
Hi, my name is Amelia and I'm 17 years old. I first got my brace when I was 10. I just turned 10 and I wore it for 4.5 years.
Hi, my name's Frank. I'm 17 years old and I found out I had scoliosis when at the beginning of my sophomore year in high school.
So I'm Addison, Casey, and I am 13 years old and I started wearing my brace when I was 12.
Hi, my name is Bronwen. I'm 24 years old. I started wearing a brace for scoliosis when I was 11 and I wore it until I was 18.
Hi, my name is Erica Cortez and I'm 12 years old and I started wearing my brace when I was 11 years old.
Hi, I'm Amanda Garrett. I'm 16 and I'm from New Orleans. And I found out I had scoliosis about 3 years ago when I went to my pediatrician.
I'm Athena and I wear a brace and I've been wearing it since 3rd grade.
When I first got my brace, I actually don't really remember what it was like at all, if that tells you anything about how bad it affected me or anything. I mean, it wasn't like I loved it. It was hot, uncomfortable. I'm not gonna pretend like I liked it or anything like that. But at this point in my life, I don't really remember that.
The doctor came up to me and told me pretty much the condition, and I never heard of it, so I was in for something that I never expected.
I started tearing up so bad. I was like really scared because I didn't know how the brace was going to be and stuff, and I was like really nervous. I was kind of excited and kind of nervous because I knew that the nervousness like kind of came from the part where I had 2 options, which was a brace and surgery. When I heard surgery, I was kind of surprised.
I really didn't know what was going on. Like, I had just turned 10 and they said I had scoliosis, kind of explained what it was, and they just said I was gonna have to wear a brace, so I didn't really know what it was gonna look like or anything. And then once I finally got it, I was pretty nervous to wear it. Like, I didn't know what my friends would think or how I would be able to, go about my day with this giant, piece of metal and plastic on me.
I just kind of explained to them that I have scoliosis because they didn't really know. I didn't think it was that big of a deal to get a brace, but now that I was getting one, I had to tell them.
I told my teacher in 5th grade that I was wearing it, and she said, I think it'll be good. We decided that it would be good for everybody to know in my class. So she actually announced it to everybody one day, and it went really well. Like, nobody really thought it was that big of a deal, and they asked me questions about it, and they would always help me out, especially for gym class when I had to change out of it. It was really nice to have everybody to support me through it.
And they were also happy and excited because they could knock on me. So that was fun.
I went to my teachers and other students that didn't know about it, and I went up to them. They're like, "Hey!" and I knocked on myself. I did the little noise on myself since it's plastic, and I'm like, "Look, I'm made out of wood," or "I'm a robot," and everyone started laughing.
I wake up and I have to take off my brace because I need to bend down to my dresser and all that and pick out my clothes for the day. And then I come downstairs, I eat my breakfast, and then when it's time to go to school, my mom puts on my brace.
In the car, I mostly sit up straight, or sometimes I try to lean back and try to tilt my head to something to lean on because it's a little bit more comfortable like that for me.
And one of the biggest adjustments I had to make is just the way I held my school bag, because in certain ways I held it, it would pinch and stuff. So I would have to have both straps on, tightened all the way, so it would be most comfortable.
And it's 6th grade lockers, 7th grade lockers, and 8th grade lockers. And so I have a 7th grade locker, and it's right in the middle, so it's kind of good because I don't have to bend down like I did last year. And I didn't have my brace last year, so I didn't have to go through all that. But I had so I could just stand and stuff. And I just hook on my backpack on my locker, because it's a little pretty hook thingy. And I just it's kind of hard for me to bend down sometimes because it's all the way down to here. So it's So yeah, or I just squat into it. So it's just easier to take it out and go to class.
When there's mostly ceremonies or assemblies, I mostly tell one of my teachers, because technically almost my entire school knows about it. So I just tell them, and I'm just I can't sit on the floor because we sit on the floor for that. So they grab me a chair and I sit on it. And when I get home, I mostly have my brace off because I have 6 hours without it. And so I mostly plan my day and what times I want to have it off. So I take it off after school, in the car, and at home, I'm normal.
When I come home, I eat. Eating is one of the best parts of my day, I guess. And then I go to swim practice, and then I come home. Then I eat another snack, and then I put my brace on, and then I go to bed.
An evening routine that I had was I would make sure everything's done, take a shower, because if you don't, it's gonna get all funky and you don't want that. Then once everything's done, what I'll do, I'll get water. If I wanted to, I'd get a snack or something. Anything that you would have to wake up in the middle of the night and do or get, I make sure it's by my nightstand, so I wouldn't have to worry about unwrapping everything, getting out, going and doing whatever I need to do, and then coming back, getting back in it.
I would usually sleep either on my back or just on my stomach, because sleeping on my side would put too much pressure on that side, and it would just I would wake up in the night if I ever was on my side.
You can't wear shorts to school, so I wear skinny jeans or whatever, but I can't put that over my brace because there's a button and it's not stretchy. But I have some jeggings where I can put it over my brace, and they look exactly like jeans. I absolutely love them. So it's way easier to go to the restroom, because when it's under your brace, it's hard because if you're can I breathe? When you're trying to go to the restroom, so it's just easier.
Get your clothes to kind of flowy, or your dress is kind of flowy, so it doesn't you can see, oh, that's where her brace marks in her back, or oh, I can see the straps in the front. Get it kind of airy in the front or the back.
My mom takes me shopping all the time for shirts because I get holes in my shirts from my brace, which is a really good advantage because I need some more clothes. So I love it. And so I had some shirts with holes in the back, and my friends would be like, hey, you know your hole in the back. I'm like, yeah, it's fashion stuff. I just do that. And Kanye came out with a new collection that has holes all over it. I'm like, no, it's just from the Kanye collection.
I first got my brace when I was 10. I just turned 10, and I wore it for 4.5 years, and then my curves had gotten so out of hand that they decided I need to get spinal fusion surgery. So when I was 14, I had that during the summer, and then a couple months later, they saw that my spine was starting to collapse under where they did the fusion. So I had to get another surgery the following summer, and since then it's almost been 2 years, but everything has been going well. Even though I still needed to get surgery, if I had not followed my doctor's instructions, I would, live my life thinking it's my fault that I had to get this surgery. But now I know that I did all I could to prevent it, but it still ended up happening, and that's just how it went. But I know that I did all that I could have done to make myself as straight as I could have.
And just know that it is a really short period of your life. I mean, at this point, 7 years seems like forever, but when you're 24 years old, it will be a distant memory. And nobody that I know now who knew me at that point even remembers that I wore a brace back then.
I would say don't be afraid to talk to people about it, and don't be afraid to tell your friends or people around you about it. because I always thought that people, since it was a big deal to me, I thought everybody would think it was weird or different, but people they really don't care that much, if I'm being honest. I mean, and they'll be understanding, you know, that it is like a medical condition, it's something you can't control, and it's something that you have to deal with every day, and they'll recognize that, you know, it's a pretty hard thing to deal with, but a lot of people are there to give you support through it all.
At the time I was wearing the brace, I played football, and towards the end I played rugby as well. Both kind of exhausting, hard-hitting sports that you might go home with some few bruises or a few discomforts after practice, in which some of those nights would be restless nights because I'll be exhausted because I have to come home, I'm hungry, tired, exhausted, then I have to do my homework, so I'm even more tired, I have to stay up later, and then I have to get in my brace, and then it's just so much, but I still have to fight through it, still wear it.
It was difficult to go from wearing the brace all day to not wearing it at all because of my muscles were kind of used to just like leaning on that, and it kind of got some taking used to, like just normal running and moving around really quickly would kind of hurt sometimes. But I went to physical therapy on some days during the week, so it helped to regain my muscle.
It's not as bad as you think it will be, because I thought it was gonna be like, it was gonna hurt from the inside, but it doesn't.
Sometimes you might even forget you're wearing it. Sometimes that happens to me.
It makes me feel like I'm making a change, like I'm helping other people, like people that wear other braces or people that have had surgery and stuff like that. I just feel like I have like a voice in it. I feel like I have something I can help with it. I feel like I actually have like a purpose for it.
The best part about wearing the brace was that is how I found my career. I'm currently in a master's program to become an orthotist prosthetist. It was at my 1-year follow-up that I went back and visited the guy or girl that makes brace, who's called an orthotist, and I realized that that was something that I could actually do for a career.